We are live, coming here with a brand new Stir the Pod podcast show. I'm your host, Trevor, and tonight we are joined by Alex. Alex, how are you doing tonight?
Yo.
And we're also joined by Andy. Andy, how are you doing tonight?
What up?
And we are here, back from a little vacation. We'll get into that. But episode 5 recap show. In this episode, wow. Was not expecting what happened tonight. Here we are, boys. Episode 5. Initial thoughts. Andy, initial thoughts.
You know, it kind of sucked not having it last week. I think I just realized how all in I am going into last week when we find out, oh, the VMAs are on, so there's no challenge. It's kind of like having an early bye week in the NFL or college football, but your team's doing well. And you're like, no, I don't want this now. Like, we want this when it's lingering. But either way, we're back. I thought tonight's episode was very good. It also seemed very unique from the other episodes that we've got. Like, every episode has its own little je ne sais quoi. And I think we got a good piece tonight. I think we got a very interesting outcome. And it was entertaining from start to finish, really.
I don't know if we got an interesting outcome. I think we got a very interessante outcome tonight. But Alex, initial thoughts.
I really liked tonight's episode. I think, we talked about on our last recap, which was 2 weeks ago. We didn't know that was going to be our last recap at this time. That we started the season with 4 really good episodes and unique in their own ways, but like a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff to talk about. And then the fucking VMAs happen. And we go 2 weeks without the challenge, and we missed it, which is like something even as recent as last season. If we would have like been told surprisingly like that there's not an episode, we would have been like, hell yes, we need a break from this. And so I feel like because of that, there was a lot of anticipation for tonight. We had been gone from the challenge for 2 weeks. We had 4 good episodes in a row, and we got maybe the best episode of them all tonight. Like this episode that we got tonight, I thought was awesome. I thought it was entertaining. We had, I think, Andy brought it up last recap about we still hadn't had like the first big domino fall. I think at the end of the episode, obviously we had, a big upset and we had a couple dominoes go home actually. And so I think this was just an awesome episode. And I'm glad we had it after this sort of 2-week hiatus where a lot of people are probably watching, and we just keep this vibe going.
So, yeah, let's start at that moment first. The hiatus, which you literally have the best season in what, 15 seasons?
Close to that, I would say.
Realistically, probably free agents.
Free agents is 25.
20. What was 28?
2 before Dirty 30. Rivals 3.
I'd probably say there then.
Take the money and run.
Yeah, I'd probably say season 28. So in 12 seasons, you have your best season on paper so far. And you decide to put the fucking VMAs. And here's the thing. You're telling me they couldn't just knock one night of ridiculousness off like for 24 hours. Like you could have gone Tuesday, you could have gone Thursday. Like I think Tuesday the debate was on, but besides that, like what else is going on? Throw it on Thursday or hell, drop it at 11 o'clock. People would still watch. We would record it at 11:30 Pacific time if it meant. Like we were all in. And to do that to us is a slap in the face. And they didn't even tell us.
That right there is part. That's the worst part of it. Like, okay, if you want to make a dumb decision, make a dumb decision. But what you can't do is make a dumb decision. And then I found out by way of one of you two looking at the guide on Wednesday morning.
I literally woke up.
Unacceptable.
I literally woke up at 7:30 or whatever time. And I looked at the guy. I was like, how long is tonight? Because I saw like a VMA ad. And I was like, how long is tonight's episode? And then I'm like scrolling to the top and it's just not there. And I'm like, wait, am I losing it? And then I'm looking back at the Twitter, on Twitter, and they literally didn't tweet about the challenge for like 10 days. And I'm like, what is going on? And then they tweeted, I think like 10 a.m. that morning, was like, oh, we're back next week or whatever. It's like, at least tell us at the preview of last week's episode, be like, hey, we're back in 2 weeks with this, this, and this. They didn't even tell us.
Yeah, that would have been the time to do it. Either during the preview or like the Thursday or Friday right after the one they actually did, saying, by the way, VMA's coming up next Wednesday. Just something, because this was just unbelievable.
Slapped in the face, literally. Just unexcusable, lazy. You know, it might have been just hand up too. Might have just been an intern forgot to hit send on a tweet or something. That's what I'm picturing. But positive vibes only. PVOs, tonight's episode. Let's get back on the track. And the best way to get back on the track, the streak. We're back. I mean, I know Andy's streak. I mean, Andy, do you have anything to talk about with the streak? I mean, like, I know you found it a couple seasons ago. Like, it's awesome.
It is. And it's, probably one of my favorite things of the challenge. It's one of those almost like Easter egg kind of things that you really have to pay attention to get. And ever since I discovered that, a few seasons back, it's just been one of those things that brings me joy at the start of every episode.
It's just, it fires me up. I'm fired up when I see that. Alex, I know you're not a huge fan of the streak, but anything you want to talk about this streak?
Enough. Watch it.
Okay. We'll move on. So streak happens, nothing too crazy. And then we go into the party. And this party kind of like at the house, more just drinking and stuff like that. But like, love is just in the air. I mean, Devin and Michelle, what is going on?
Good for them.
Whoa, you're on board for this relationship.
I mean, I don't know if either of them can do a whole lot better, but they're both doing pretty well, if that makes sense.
I think that makes perfect sense. And I also think they're probably the only two competitors with an IQ over like 75.
On this season?
I mean, I don't know.
See, my gut wants to say that, like, I guess he's not here anymore, but CT is also probably that smart, but I think that's just challenge smarts.
It is. If you ask CT to explain like economics, do you think he could do that?
I think we can all agree the smartest person in the challenge house is probably Corey. What do you think the bottom three is in the house right now? Corey,
Derek. I think Derek
ever fell for like.
Derek's a good pick.
Didn't he get catfished?
I think I heard some story about some guy was like trying to be like Alton or something. And who would the third be? So you got Derek, you got Corey.
I think Brad could be a good front runner for that.
Brad is just out of control. Josh, friend of the program, though.
Josh is an idiot too.
God. I mean, what about like Olivia?
That's pretty good.
I don't think she's like as like noticeably dumb because she like knows how to kind of handle herself, but I feel like she just has to be an idiot.
I think Derek and Corey are just on another planet.
Oh yeah.
When you don't know 9 times 3, and I will always say that statement till the day I die. You can put 9 times 3 on my grave. Like, that is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. So
I think we've said some good names.
Okay.
So was this the first? It can't be the first, but it's the first that I can remember. Like challenge daytime house party. It looks so unfamiliar to me. Usually, if they're at the house and they're drinking and they're doing all that, like it's at night, it's dark. Maybe they have the makeshift club. Like them all being outside. The grill's going. They're throwing the football. Like that was fun. And I feel like they've like never done that type of thing.
It's you if it's any daytime activities, it's usually just like working out or laying by the pool, but not like in a fun, like we're drinking way, but just like laying by the pool, but like talking game. And it's like, I don't really care.
Or they'll go out to like a boat for the day. They've done that a few times.
You got Corey over there just, Josh, what do you think?
Popcorn muscles. Gotta look good. God.
It was fun.
Well, did you guys notice CT kind of talking to Bananas about relationship? Who do you got your eye on? And he kind of talked about, is that little foreshadowing?
No.
I just feel like that scene was completely random.
It was random, but I just love how Bananas just shot it down. Eyes on the prize.
I kind of hope he does hook up with somebody though.
Who would it be?
Laurel?
I mean, Bananas. It has to be somebody on era 3 or 4.
Yeah, be like Olivia. There's no rookies. That's the problem for Bananas.
Who would be okay? Then what? Who would be it?
Olivia is already Tio's king.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be Tori? Ooh. Ooh. I don't know, Jim.
I could see that because Tori's not like an idiot, but she is an idiot when it comes to relationships.
But has she ever like been in love on the challenge or anything like that with somebody else from this season?
I think like a couple times.
God, hopefully nobody got on a knee in the middle of a fucking elimination. God. I'm still waiting for Bananas to just propose. Ooh, somebody's in the chat. Jenny. I don't hate that either.
She's probably the best option.
I think I like the Jenny pick, honestly, Mikey, and Ryan. I feel like that's very Bananas knows who's really good at the challenge and kind of like, taking under his wing. Like, I know he's very classic at that. I could see that move.
I don't hate it.
Don't hate?
I mean, it's either her or Tina.
I would bulge at Bananas and Cara. It's just like, what the fuck are we doing? All right. Should we go to the challenge?
Angry little elf.
Should we go to the challenge?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So this challenge, to be honest, like, I don't even know if I got all of it. It was so weird where it was like all these like bamboo trees or whatever. And you're basically grabbing this giant like T-shaped thing. And you're basically just maneuvering your way through, picking up sandbags and coming back and doing it twice, right? And then just balancing it on the platform at the end, right?
Yeah.
Essentially it.
I couldn't tell if that was Trev or Casey.
The one thought I had during this, and I know we bring this up all the time, I got Mario Party vibes of where it's like you and a partner and you're like carrying like this block. Yeah, and you're like going up, going back, you gotta go down, you gotta go up. And normally this game of Mario Party, a good old 20T game, always comes down to me and Andy. And whoever's winning that game, it's very a pivotal moment. That game always comes up turn 16, 17. I feel like me and Andy battling it out. Maybe me and Alex are partners and I'm winning. He'll sabotage me what Laurel did. Like, it is literally a Mario Party game. So
yeah, and we got that taste, and that started what became the domino effect. And I don't know about you guys, but I could not stand Laurel all episode today. And that really started it off because like she said something like, oh, I got to drop my side or something. And even before they actually said like Laurel's not doing it, Laurel would never say something like that because she's got like the biggest ego, arguably in all of the challenge. That'd kind of be an interesting thing to debate. But Laurel's ego is insanely big. And for her to say, oh, I have to drop this, it's immediately like red flag, something's up. And then that proceeded to be like the next like 30 minutes of this EP.
I think without a doubt, this season, either going from somebody I hate to now I really like, or somebody I like going to I hate, probably the biggest person is Laurel. I liked Laurel. She has completely, done a 180. Like, it is crazy how bad she is this season. Like, she sucks. I don't want to see her on my screen.
She's been awful, and I think tonight was the worst of it. But I think a lot of that is because of the challenge and because of the fact that they suspected her throwing it. I thought this daily was fine. Like, I thought it was good. It was effective at, getting the teams to like get pissed at each other. I think that was the main point of having this like huge thing that you have to navigate through the trees. And it's not something where you can have just like one leader calling the shots and everybody can just kind of follow through, because everybody has to lift it up. Like, everybody has to exert physical energy at all time. And so I feel like that just exhausted them all. I don't know. I last week or 2 weeks ago we had trivia. I'm hoping that these dailies get a little more creative. I feel like they've been good so far, but they've just been, I mean, they're big teams still. There's a lot of people on each team, but I'm hoping when the numbers dwindle a little bit more that we get like more entertaining and more thought out dailies. Like, this one is basically carry this huge stick through the trees. Like, it's fun to see people yell at each other. It wasn't the best daily overall, though.
I mean, it, like I said earlier, it gave me Mario Party vibes, so I kind of liked it. So, but it wasn't anything crazy. So
Era 4 wins.
Yeah. So Era 4 wins, which was Kylan and who was it? Kylan and
Olivia.
Yeah, sorry. So they pick up the dub. Last place was CT and Tina, which Era 1, good God, they couldn't figure out a thing. Pretty embarrassing performance for them. I mean, that little end clip of Tina and CT just going at it where, like, Wob and Beeb, like, it was just like, what are we fucking doing?
That was bad. And then, but I did, like, that was one of those things, and we've talked about it, like, on different occasions of, like, Era 1 actually having a sense of, like, the challenge isn't the most important thing in the world. And these people have known each other for a decade. So, like, seeing them, like, yell and get in each other's faces, it was like, that's kind of interesting. But then, like, a minute later, both of them were like, sorry, I'm fired up. I just really wanted to win this. Like, that's just something that you would never see out of, like, Corey. Like, Corey would never do anything like that.
No, you're hot in the moment and you're pissed, but they understand, like, at the end of the day, like, it's just a game. And those people have done combined like 200 seasons of the challenge.
That exact thought crossed my mind. I loved seeing them get so mad at each other, and then just like the challenge is over, their last place, like, I'm sorry, I mean, we just want to win. And both of them acknowledging that, like, if this would have been like Josh and Tori, I know Tori's not his teammate, but like Josh and Casey, not only would they have done another cut to this like later in the episode when they're back at the house, like, how could you do this? How could you like turn on me in the daily? They would have cut back to this 3 seasons from now. And Josh would be crying, and, Bananas would walk up to him in the room and be like, why the fuck are you crying? And he'd be like, I'm trying to trust Tori. She's my partner. But like, 3 years ago on season 40, she yelled at me when we moved this thing through the trees. Like, that would happen. And CT and Tina were able to just like drop it there and leave it instantly.
Yes.
That's incredibly accurate.
My question for you guys, and maybe we'll have to get our challenge historian, and I'm just thinking, after I said 200 seasons, which season, or which era, excuse me, has the most seasons combined? From episode, like, if we were to talk about episode 1, so those teams, the 10 people, who actually has the most? Is it era 2?
It has to be 1 or 2. Has to be.
Here's the thing, though. There are a lot of people in era 1 and 2 that only did like 2-3 seasons. compared to Era 3, obviously, though, I know the big elephant in the room, you got 2 people with 20-plus seasons. I think Era 1 with Anissa and CT carry it the most.
I think so.
But I think, like, I'd be curious what those averages are, though, because there are a lot of people in 1 and 2 that only did, like, 2-3 seasons.
Are there for Era 1, though?
How many did Aviv do? 1?
No, I'm talking Era 1.
Oh, sorry. How much did so wait, I'm trying to think of who got eliminated too. I mean, Brad's done a decent number.
Brad's done like close to a dozen. Derek's done like close to a dozen. Darrell's probably done like 10.
Tina? How many has she? I thought she's done like 5.
Tina hasn't done a ton. I would guess like 5 or 6.
Jody? Not that many.
I think this was her 7.
She's been in that many.
I think so. I mean, this was back in like early 2000s.
Era
born.
Era 3 might be the most.
Era 3?
Because
I think it goes 1, 3, 2, surprisingly.
I mean, so Era 3, but Era 3 at the start had Tony and Avery. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, they still do have Avery, but yes.
Right. But neither of them were big in terms of seasons.
No, Era 3 is like more evenly distributed.
I think it's like 7 to 10, but the entire cast, correct? For Era 3.
No. Like Avery had only done 2 seasons before this.
Okay, just her, I guess.
And Naya, I think, had only done 2.
Oh, maybe I'm way off.
We'll get the historian to crunch.
Yeah, we'll do beep boop bop beep. We'll do the math later.
Right.
We're probably off by like 20 seasons where 1 and 2 are just way above everybody. But we're counting spinoffs, right?
Oh, shit.
All right, so where are we? We talked about CT and Tina being terrible. And then kind of the last thing we had was the deliberation, correct? And this is where we had a lot of deals being placed. And in this moment, we kind of saw Nehemiah kind of get called out, where he said he was going to make a deal with Devin. And I think that was the done point. Like, we didn't even need to talk anymore. That team was going in. The end. So.
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of, good things about this episode. The deliberation and the voting, I feel like was, not that it was a bad thing, but I feel like it was the most straightforward of any of the deliberations we've had so far. Because the first one, it was the Tony and Avery stalemate, and you could kind of see the writing on the wall, like the whole episode, what was going to happen. And then 2 weeks ago was Jordan and Bananas and Laurel making that deal, and you kind of knew what was going to happen. This one, and there was like a lot of drama around it as well. This one, like, it was just, Nehemiah kind of showed his hand too early, and, it was easy for them to pick them as the team eventually.
Easy vote. Just idiot move by Nehemiah, but it is what it is, and it cost Team 2 tonight, honestly. So before we talk about the elimination, let's talk about the other fight tonight. Cara versus Laurel. Holy shit. What even happened? Like, Laurel was talking to Michelle, and essentially, they were hashing it out, and then Cara just got involved, and it was just crazy. Like,
yeah,
screaming, it was almost unwatchable, honestly.
It really was. Like,
it was hard to watch. Like, I felt bad for Cara. Like, I could not imagine being in that position.
Yeah, this was like a theme for the past few weeks of this show has been this underlying, oh, we got Cara, oh, we got Laurel, something's going to happen. And I didn't expect it to be as just like pointless as this was, if that makes sense. Like, there was like I guess it does solidify though that like what production was building up of like this underlying tension and this like hatred kind of was very real because this was set off by nothing. So it's kind of like, all right, production wasn't just full of shit, but like, oh my God, is Laurel really that like immature, petty? Like everything Cara was telling Emily about Laurel was so spot on. So spot on.
Yeah. I feel like Kara was like, I see in the chat, like Mikey Doctor said, Kara started the fight. And I think I would agree with that. Like, she was like trying not to like, she was like kind of like jokingly like poking the bear. And she poked the bear too hard. And
But did she?
no, I'm not saying she did. It was almost like, I
It
felt
was
like,
it was so lighthearted. It wasn't like she wasn't being a bitch. She like joke like to your point, jokingly came in there like, "Don't worry, Michelle, we can be friends." You're telling me that right there is Cara starting the fight? Not necessarily you specifically, but like I know Mikey mentioned that. There's probably a bunch of other people who think that Cara like egged her on, but like that is all it takes to set off this lunatic?
I agree. I think, but here's the point, Andy. Like, why is she even in that room to begin with? Kara. Like,
Well, I mean, she talked about it, and I think she's very real of like Laurel being a bully, which has like been Kara's entire experience with Laurel. Laurel being a bully, but instead of it being directed to her, it's being directed to this new girl who Kara's like, just don't even get yourself involved with this. Like, it's not worth it. And that's it. So like I think Kara was doing it out of actually like a kind-hearted spirit, not necessarily being mean towards Laurel, but just like trying to help out Michelle. And then all hell broke loose.
Adam Mitos, that's a technical foul. Like, we might have to ban you from a little bit. But yeah, it's almost like I feel like growing up, you would always have that one friend that would try to like instigate a fight, and then you would like try to stop it. Like, don't do it, and it just happens. So
do we think this is going to be at least this season's like apex mountain for the Cara Laurel rivalry?
Yes.
They kind of edited up to be that, right?
Yes.
I hope we still get another moment.
Well, and so the line in the sand was drawn tonight. And even going more into the challenge, when decisions are made and Laurel's now on the hot seat, she's like, "Oh, you picked the wrong side." It's very clear she was the one who really drew the line in the sand. There's two active people going against each other. That was largely driven by Laurel. And they kind of glanced over the fact that Laurel actively already tried to get Cara out this season. Like, that was such a very small little snippet of this whole argument, which is very, very real. Like, forget about everything that happened way back in the day. You tried to get me out like a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and it's just kind of weird that this huge fight came from nothing that was really game related. Like before the episode, we knew that this was going to be one of the storylines tonight, but we also knew that Emily was the Era 2 target. So I was like thinking, like, how could this play out in a way that like Cara and Laurel are suddenly, in the drama? And I was thinking like maybe it's Era 2 is the winner. So they, have a team meeting or something and Cara and Laurel disagree. But like that didn't happen. And like their fight like came from something with Michelle. Like it wasn't anything related to who's going to vote in who. There was a little tension because Laurel was like clearly throwing the daily, but I don't think that was like the only thing clearly. And it just wasn't like a super related to the game type of fight, which I thought it was going to be. So, I mean, that just goes to show like just how much these two hate each other.
You think Laurel threw that challenge?
Yeah, she did the Mario Party.
But like, when has like somebody from Era 2 ever thrown a challenge? All right, elimination time. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So elimination, the voting, essentially, we all knew where it was going, and Era 2 gets voted in. So we have CT Tina versus Emily and Nehemiah. It is just a straight up guy versus guy elimination, girl versus girl elimination. We start off with the girls, Tina versus Emily, which on paper, what do we think the odds were going into the challenge or elimination? Excuse me.
Emily minus 850.
Wow, that high?
It's Tina. And it's Emily.
But
Look at
what
their
about-
resumes and look at what they look like now.
But what about after seeing what the elimination is?
It was very fluky-y. So that always, that gets Vegas in a bind. But I think even then, I think it's pre what the elimination was, minus 850, post elimination announcement, minus 500.
Okay. I was thinking more of that to start. Elimination. What do we think about it? Pulling the nails off, just nailing them right back in. It was all right. Like, I don't know what you want us to watch. I mean, it was one of the worst, like, visually things we could have ever watched. Like, oh, let me just whoop, whoop, ding, ding, ding.
So you hated it?
I didn't hate it by any means. I just think it was dumb. Like, what are we doing? Like, are we that desperate are we that low on a budget that we have to pull nails out and use literally the exact same thing and nail it back in? When they nailed it back in, you know what happened? When the men went, they literally just used that side and shifted it to the left. They didn't even change the nails.
You're lying.
I don't know. It looked like it.
I'm with you, Trev. I mean, this was something where, like, you're babysitting, like, your nieces or something, and you're like, I don't know what to do. They're bouncing all over the place. How do I just get them to be preoccupied for something? You just say, hey, there's 100 nails here. Take them all out. Nail them back in. Guess what? I'm going to time you. Ready? Go. Like, that's what this elimination was. There was nothing thought out about it. I also did not like how when Tina went first off, she was just somehow able to just, like, essentially just go like this, and all the nails fell out.
Yeah.
But whenever anyone else tried to do that, it just didn't work.
Very fluky.
It was fluky. And that's where, I mean, the live lines turned quick after, like, the first drive. But
first drop. It wasn't even close.
That's like the first drive in an NFL game, like the first attempt. But I'm with you. I didn't think it was entertaining. It was simple. It was like, all right, what can we do? And
Klondike bar.
And at the same time, like, you think of who comes out of this alive. Are they really the best competitors?
No, we definitely got screwed on and went home tonight. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, so after seeing the girls go, I was kind of not that I liked it, but I was kind of in favor of the elimination because I do like these things where both people have a shot at winning, but the person who is a better challenger should have a better shot at winning. And obviously Tina wins, but then you get the double upset with Nehemiah on the guy's side. And then it's like, all right, was this a good elimination? I don't know. It was cool in some ways. It was very not cool in a lot of other ways. I wish there would have been some sort of like, some sort of way to determine like how the nail was actually in. You could see it like some of them, they were literally just getting I'm assuming the nail was just like a quarter of an inch in the hole, just enough to not fall off. And you could see they were literally doing just like 1 pound, move to the next one, just to try to get it as quick as possible. I wish there would have been some way to say like, it has to be like all the way in there or something like that. So I don't know. I didn't hate it, but I did not like it.
I just wish it was more fair. To Andy's point earlier, like the fact that Tina just went like this and all of them just came down and like CT's doing it, like There's no way that happens.
Well, maybe she knows what to do though.
Maybe.
I mean, she did, and I mean, she won, but I mean, those nails could not have been actually hit in because she literally just, whoosh, and then CT did it, and they all just bent down, and then he was like, "What the hell?"
I feel like Tina could have just used her hands literally without the thing, and it was coming off. Like,
Yes.
could you imagine if somebody would have just picked up the entire board and just like dropped it, and it just they're just all come out like in 5 seconds?
Smack the back of it.
Yeah, just hit in the back. God.
Let's do the girls first. So Tina wins, Emily goes home. What do we think about Emily going home? Episode 5.
Well, I picked her to win, so yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So I think we all know where I lie with that. So maybe an LVP coming up. So
it's tough to see because in my mind, I think Emily is very similar to a Casey, where hear me out, where they really don't provide much entertainment factor. I really don't think you can argue that for Emily. She's incredibly bad, but she doesn't like chop it up with everybody. But she's very good. So the only time where she's actually in the swing of things is when there's 10 people left or there's 1 or 2 more episodes before the finale. And then it's like she has to be in the like center of attention because there's such limited people. And she's also good enough to back it up. We didn't get that because there's still 20 people left. And that's where it's like she missed the playoffs and she's not going to be able to shine.
Here's the thing. When you have somebody like Emily, you want to see like a headbanger. You want to see like a great elimination. Like that tonight, like is so fluky, like it's so dumb. And that's what pisses me off. Like if this was against like Tina versus I don't know, fucking Avery, it would have been fine. But when you have somebody, what? You disagree?
You want Avery gone?
Avery could have won. I'm just saying, like, I think there's a tier of like Cara, Laurel, Emily. Like those are the girls. Jenny. Like I want to see those people in a hall brawl versus each other. I want to see them in a pole wrestle. I want to see them in like who is the best of the best. Like tonight is like we've said, it's very fluky. Like it's so dumb. Like give us like if we have somebody good in, like show me like they're the best.
So let me pose this question. If like does production determine what the elimination is after it's decided, or did they decide it in the pit or whatever the hell they call it?
I think production literally goes day by day, hour by hour, and they're mapping out in the like there's probably like this elimination exists, but they're kind of I mean, think about it. It's just a fucking board with nails in it. Like, how hard is it? Like you could run to Home Depot and do it. I'm saying this. I think they strategically look at it like they know Tina has a background in building houses or whatever the fuck, going to Home Depot. Emily probably has none like in there. Oh, let's throw this elimination in there.
But they pick whoever's going against them while the elimination's already set, correct?
I think the challenge has a good enough knowledge before the elimination. They know who's going in.
They probably ask like Kylan and Olivia, who are you saying? And we're not going to tell anybody, but you can't lie. This has to be your answer. So that way we can get our stuff prepared. They probably say that. Well,
yeah, they might even just do it for the confessional videos. Like, hey, like we're filming, like they're all in their clothes and stuff. Hey, can you film the confessional? Yeah, I voted for this person because of this, this, and this.
Yeah.
But that's
the reason I asked that in the first place, because it just pisses me off because like they probably view it as like a leveler of, because again, like Emily versus Tina is Emily minus 850 on a blanket nation. So they're probably like, all right, how do we level the playing field? Fuck that. Why are we trying to level the playing field? Emily's a beast. She deserves to be at an advantage if she's given herself an advantage. It's bullshit that production comes in and tries to take that away.
I agree. I think the best way, and Alex, you can just chime in because I know people are itching to hear your opinion. At least tell us then, Hall Brawl is going to be episode 4, or the team or whatever. Hall Brawl is episode 4. Does Nail Things episode 5? This is episode 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. So I don't know. Just my thought. Alex, you have anything? Alex, is he fucking with us? I can't tell. Is Alex seriously fucking with us? Alex. All right, whatever. I don't know why he's being a dick like this. But seriously, talk.
What?
Are you serious?
What are you doing? What are your thoughts?
Can you hear me?
Yes. You weren't speaking.
I just asked you 5 questions.
Did you guys hear?
What?
In all seriousness, I haven't heard anything.
I said this is Emily's first loss. What do we think about that?
I think that's
the first time I'm hearing that.
Yeah, this is definitely the first time. Am I crazy, chat? Please let me know if my ears are messed up. But we couldn't hear you. That was actually kind of funny. Insane. I can't believe she lost to Tina too. Cannot believe it. Crazy.
What was the second question?
You got to go 2, 3, 4, 5 now.
I forget.
We'll never know.
What about this on the spot? Who do we think
Unanswerable questions
has the longest streak now?
Of what?
Of active eliminations have never lost. Because remember, Laurel held that torch for a long time. Then she lost to Camilla. And I'm assuming Emily might have been the leader, if not up there. I guess Horacio lost last week or 2 weeks ago.
Kyland?
My man.
Or did Norris beat him?
He lost last season.
Is anybody undefeated?
Somebody's probably 2-0 or 3-0. No, Jenny lost to Tori her rookie season.
Hall Brawl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has Casey ever lost an elimination? Her and her brother that likes HBO Max, did they lose in an elimination? I think they did. I don't know if it was a Redemption House-esque thing.
Aviv.
Is Aviv the holder? She might be.
I mean, she won it all her first and only season. I think it has to be.
That's bananas.
Viva Aviv.
Casey's brother? So smart. All right.
So what about the guy's side?
What was that?
What about the guy's side?
I mean, how the fuck did Niedermeyer win?
Great question.
Doesn't CT do this for a living besides his movie career? Which we might have to get into because Alex and I did watch CT's one of his movies. I got through 35 minutes of his second movie and I had to stop because it was so bad. But thoughts on that elimination, Andy? We'll give it to Alex first.
Is this is this Nehemiah's challenge Apex Mountain? I know he's won it, but he won it on Gauntlet 3, I think, which was the season where they dragged Big Easy. When Big Easy, what was Big Easy's quote? I can run a 10-minute mile, but it was just a singular 10-minute mile. And then Big Easy died, and then the other team won. And so Nehemiah is a challenge champ. Someone said that, I think Kylan maybe tonight. But I would feel like beating CT in a straight-up one-on-one, no partners, elimination. I know it was a fluky EES thing, but he still beat him. Like, I feel like, and Nehemiah said it, like, this might be, you know, what goes up on Nehemiah's, you know, tombstone, his challenge tombstone.
Let me ask you this. Sorry, going back for a second on elimination wins. Is that University of Tennessee player undefeated?
He's not.
Who'd he lose to?
Bananas.
He lost to Bananas?
They
Last
lost to
season.
Bananas and Nani. They were like climbing a wall. It was one of those where you get to the top and then it becomes hard to balance. And then I think they dropped the thing. Mariah's boob popped or something like that. But yeah, I think that is probably his one loss.
I completely forgot he lost. Damn, I know Andy's boys with him, so Chattanooga.
I actually looked. I'm no longer on the homepage of his Cameo.
Oh, heartbreak. Wait,
Shame.
why were you on his homepage? Were you looking? You were trying to buy another one?
No, Stu Finer's now on Cameo. And then I was like, oh, speaking of Cameo, let me go see what that little bitch boy from University of Tennessee's up to.
No.
And now he's doing everything. He's doing birthdays. He's doing – I think mine kind of got to him a little bit. But what can you do? Chattanooga. But this was – I don't know. Nehemiah, he's fine. It's a fluky E elimination, as we've discussed. And this is what it takes for him to win. Like, but I still, so, I mean, you meant this is like carpentry or whatever you want to say, woodworking, if you will, has got to be number 3 on CT's jobs. Challenge 1, actor 2, handyman 3. You could maybe even put smoker, like cigarette smoker at 3, handyman at 4. But how did he lose? Because it seemed like he jumped out to a very big lead. Am I crazy? Did I see that wrong?
I have no idea how he lost. Alex, did you see anything with it?
I thought it was pretty close the whole time. I don't
thought
know.
early CT had a pretty decent lead.
Well, here's the thing, too. Like, I can never believe the cameras anymore. Wasn't there a huge scandal 2 weeks ago with the whole – they had to send the tape to Horacio and Derek?
I think they played the whole tape on the Challenge Mafia podcast, but you have to put up like $250 just to watch like 5 minutes of it.
Can we get a report of the Cameo? It's been a minute. All right.
What's up?
Yeah, Andy, you want to give like a 30-second just review of it real quick? Like,
Okay. What's up, Andy? It's me, Fezzy. So I'm on the challenge, but you already know that because you watch me every week. And I'm an athlete because I say that shit all the time. And, you know, your buddy Adam, he sent me your power rankings. And you have Kyle ahead of me? You have Devin ahead of me? But that's it. You'll catch me soon. Is that it, Trev? Can you see if I nailed the intro?
What's up, Andy? What's up, Andy? It is Fessy from the challenge, but you already know that. Somebody, your buddy Adam, booked you this Cameo. So Adam's telling me, Andy, you're 5'9" and you think you could take me in a hall brawl. So height has nothing to do with it. Obviously, I'm a lot bigger than you. I don't know how much you weigh, but I'm not going to say you can't, but your chances are probably slim to none. I've been playing physical sports my whole life, but you already know that, Andy, because I say that shit all the time because it still doesn't get through y'all's dumbass head.
all right, well, we're done. I mean, that's very impressive, Andy. Very impressive. I mean, that is just I cannot believe that even exists. But
the best part is that was like a 10th of the actual message. And it starts by him saying that he wouldn't beat me in a hall brawl, technically, and then also pleading his case as to why he needs to be higher on my rank.
So, chat right now, I want everybody, you know, it's a Cameo, remember. I want the chat to guess how long of a video that actually is. How long of a Cameo? that video is.
I'm pretty sure when I looked the other day, it said his average cameo length is about 50 to 60 seconds, like on the actual Cameo website.
Okay. But we'll give it about 2 minutes before we come back, and we'll say how long it is because it is kind of hilarious. So, Jesus Christ. All right, so where are we even? I mean, Fezzi's brought up now.
So CT's going home.
Yes, CT's going home. Emily's going home. The dominoes have fallen. White House down. Like it is crazy right now.
All right, Trev, how long was the video?
I'm gonna give it a few minutes, few seconds. So the actual timing of this video. What's your guess, Andy? Just curious. And I'll get Alex a turn as well. Alex, how long do you think the cameo is? Please look up. No cheating on the phone.
I'm pretty sure it's. I'm almost positive it starts with a 4,
Okay.
so 4 minutes, and I want to say 4 minutes 57 seconds.
4 minutes. How long?
57 seconds.
Okay. And Alex, how long?
I'd say like 4:30.
4:30. Okay. In the chat, Mito said 3:36. McCord put 3 minutes. Mikey the Doctor 2:16. Tommy Tsunami, shout out you. You got 3 minutes. The correct answer was 3 minutes 53 seconds. So the closest was Adam Mitos at 3:36, which isn't surprising because he was the one who sent the cameo request. So I would hope you would know how long it is. So 3:53. He spent 3 minutes and 53 seconds pleading his case, which is
he could have done 4 videos in the time it took him to do 1 because he was so butthurt.
Yeah. But, it is what it is. You got to change your rankings up, man, because...
Oh, you also said you would rank him last in your PR. That's good. That's good. All right, back on track. So, like we said, CT, Emily going home. Then we have the classic vote now of who's going to be in elimination next week. We have from Era 1, Brad and Rachel. Era 2, Laurel Bananas. Era 3, Corey and John A. And then Era 4, Jenny and Josh. So,
did anyone think that Brad's whole self-nomination was like a desperate, almost like Romeo and Juliet-esque nomination where Emily goes in and then Brad's like, I'll do it. Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
While she's still there to see it.
Exactly.
Can I ask you guys this? Do we think Bananas and Laurel are just going to be partners or captains or whatever you want to say every single time the rest of the way until one of them's eliminated?
If Bananas goes home, well, maybe. But the problem is, if there's a time where they go home, that team gets very bad very quick.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising that we're going to go into episode 6 and both Derek and Ryan are still on this season. Like, they both bring their sort of like unique skill set. Like, you don't need 2 of them. Neither one of them is that good. I would say Derek's probably better because he has a bit more endurance. He can run more. But, like, I don't know. If you're going to get rid of Bananas, then that team just is not good at all. And I really like the 2 weak links are Derek and Ryan on that team, and you don't need both of them anymore.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Andy, anything?
Yeah.
What do you got?
I mean, actually, no.
All right, segments. What do we got tonight, Alex?
All right, should we do a little this day in challenge history?
Let's hear it.
Blow me.
All right, this day in challenge history. The first one is going to be on War of the Worlds 2. It's actually not a trivia question. On War of the Worlds 2, episode 4. which was 5 years ago today. 5 years ago was the big Laurel Ninja Kara elimination.
Okay.
Episode title was called Benedict Laurel.
Great episode title.
So again, no trivia question there. It's just a thing that happened.
Yeah, I mean I want to do a Mount Rushmore of episode titles. That's a good one. And that
Benedict
episode's
Laurel.
yeah. That
What was tonight's episode? Do we know?
I have no idea what it was called.
I thought it said Farewell CT.
Go see my movie. God.
All right. Next one is.
By the way, sorry to interrupt, but I heard rumors of a new Shrek movie coming out, which means Puss in Boots is back.
Please.
So by season 42, we might have Puss in Boots back on our screens.
If we don't, that's a massive miss. Is there a chance we get Puss in Boots as a cast member?
God. I think the challenge should be on Nickelodeon. Like, it's under that umbrella. Like, how awesome would it be if they're like doing this elimination and then you just see like Derek throw his arms up and slime just hits him like on the
or like as they're doing the elimination, instead of like a CT pro tip that pops on the board as they're like going through the nails, you get a little like Bob the Builder pro tip and just says Bob the Builder. You want to hit the nail right on the head so that we can get it in.
Production missed opportunity today with the CT pro tip. Should have had him interview at the end of when he went home. CT pro tip, bye-bye or something like that.
Yes,
I like
Don't
that.
get eliminated. So, all right, Alex, what else you got?
All right. Last one for this day in challenge history. Episode 11 of Final Reckoning. The daily was called Sky Bridge. Who was the winning team?
Final Reckoning?
Yeah, Sky Bridge.
All these seasons blend together.
How was Final Reckoning teams or pairs?
Teams. Pairs. I meant pairs. Is Final Reckoning Bananas and Tony?
It is.
They lost that daily and they went in. Cara and Marie?
No, they did not win this daily.
Oh, Devin and his partner.
No, it was Bananas and Tony.
They won?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they lost
You
that one.
specifically said they did not win. You couldn't have been more wrong.
I had the team right. Oh, tough. Classic mix-up. Wait, so Bananas and Tony went to the final?
No, it's episode 11.
Oh, I thought you said it was the episode before the finals. I thought you said.
No.
Oh, I misheard you on that. I thought that's what you... Didn't they go home the episode right before the final? Like the You Do Not Want to Go Home episode?
They lost the elimination. I think
Yeah.
the last elimination.
Yeah, to the...
Nobody said that. Yeah, they were holding their arms above their head.
Yeah, the milk. Yeah.
Yeah, milk and cookies.
God. All right.
All
What
right.
else you got?
Should we?
What
So
else you got?
how many more episodes do we do Radar Watch?
I think we're done after this episode.
You think?
You think? I kind of once the cast gets smaller and smaller, that's when I bulge at Radar Watch even more.
When it's like the finale, we're like, wait, they're on the season?
Yes.
Or should we say the whatever episode it is after the episode and we get the like still to come on this season? Is that when we stop?
That's fine. I think we should just do it the rest of the way. I think it's funnier if we do it that way.
I think so too.
All right, Radar Watch for tonight.
I'll go first. Because I think this person had no screen time until the very end, but it's very, I think I said in our group chat, a very Grinch-esque scene. And I'm going Jordan tonight. Jordan was very under the radar. And then when CT went home, you could just see that little like Grinch gif that you would see. It's just him smiling. It was awesome. I'm all in.
That's a good one. I've actually got a few. So, Alex, do you want to go, and then I'll rifle some off?
Sure, I'll go with Avery.
Ooh.
She just was not really a player. I think the first time I heard her name tonight's episode was when Laurel thought Michelle was Avery, and she like tapped her on the back or something, and she said, "Oh, I thought you were Avery." And then that reminded me, oh, Avery is still on the season, even though it was Michelle, it wasn't Avery. She got like one confessional late, maybe when they were in the elimination ground. But I feel like she just didn't. She's really done nothing since the old Tony episode. So I'm going to go with Avery tonight.
Yeah, great pick.
Whether or not she's actually, chopping it up, we need to see her on the screen more.
Exactly.
I'll just rapid fire a few. Aviv, we already kind of talked about. Darrell, and also the heavy favorite, as always, Casey.
Wait, Casey's on this season?
I mean, the Darrell Casey, I think, is just the chalkiest that you could possibly. It's like saying it's Georgia or Bama to win it all, but like when they put up a performance like this, you got to call it out.
All right, MVP, LVP time?
Let's do it.
Yes.
All right, you guys know what to do. MVP, LVP time. First one we get in the chat is going to be our order for tonight. I feel like we can go a lot of different directions tonight. I feel like MVP could be interesting. LVP, I think there's a few obvious choices, so we'll get into it. Alex, Andy, Trev as our order tonight. Thanks to Adam Meadows.
Wow.
Alex, MVP, who you got?
My MVP for tonight is going to be Tina.
Ooh.
I think Tina had a really impressive performance. She was, yelling at CT, fighting back to CT. Like, you can imagine someone like Big T in her shoes would literally be crying during the daily in this situation. But Tina is not going to do that. She's, 45 years old, and she's fighting back. And like, she's just kind of like a fun energy, a fun vibe to have around the house. She will chop it up with people, but not take anything too seriously, good or bad. And she had the elimination, obviously the big upset over Emily. So I'm going to go with MVP Tina for tonight.
Good pick. Good pick.
Did I I'm fairly certain I ranked her the highest of all three of us. And I think I'm pretty sure I had her bordering the top 10 for essentially all the same reasons that you just mentioned.
We'll get into that. We'll have to check the stat department on that. All right.
I'm just saying. All right.
Andy, who you got? MVP.
First off, great pick. Second off, I might catch some flack for this, but I don't care. Air 4.
Ooh.
Air 4 is my MVP. I don't like taking a team, but fuck, do they deserve it? They won. They've got the power. They've got the alliance with Era 3. Somehow, Era 4, these new kids on the block, are running this season. It's very hard to shoot that down. And Era 3 looks very good too, and they're working closely together. Like, Era 4 is coming out guns hot. And they're kind of getting slept on.
Wow. People sleeping on Era 4. I mean, you kind of have seen that divide now. 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4 is happening.
And I'm taking 3 and 4 any day of the week.
Yeah, one is not looking good.
But I do feel like, could you say that 3 is kind of in the best spot? Because, I mean, literally last episode, they were making deals with Era 2. So
Let me ask you this.
have, feet in both camps.
So does that mean Radar Watch Era 3?
Kind of like that. I don't disagree, but in terms of like this EP, Era 4 was like, no, we're here to play and we're going to be the ones calling the shots. Whether or not Era 3 is actually, the puppet master behind it, still to be determined. But this was kind of the coming out party, in my opinion, for Era 4 to say, like, no, we are a legitimate team and we plan on winning a lot.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Good pick. I like it. My MVP, I had an MVP. My number one MVP pick is still available, but I'm not taking it because
Honestly,
over the past 90 minutes, actually 1 hour, 6 minutes, I think there's a new MVP, and I think it might be for the first time this season. From top to bottom for the past 1 hour, 6 minutes, 40 seconds, the chat has been on fire tonight. And I got to go with the chalk. Like, seriously, like, this is why we do it. From Mikey the Doctor to whoever Tommy Tsunami is. Like, I mean, this is hilarious. Mikey the Doctor, Adam Meadows. I wish I could go through everybody. Who else am I missing?
McCord was
Who's
in there.
Tommy B? Who? Ryan. Yeah, I saw Ryan McCord earlier.
was in for a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Adam Meadows back. I mean, fucking love it. You guys are hilarious. We see every comment. That's why you see us smirking half of the time behind the scenes. Wait, you smell that? So all the time, like, we love it. So I appreciate you guys a lot. LVP for me, I guess I'll just take the chalk number one. Laurel tonight. Laurel, so annoying, so obnoxious, just always stirring the pot. Terrible. So,
very good pick. I'm going to go with CT for really two reasons that we both saw. One, he lost. Again, it was fluky E. But again, from what I remember, he started off the elimination in the lead. He lost. And almost more so than that, like we talked about Tina, standing her ground to CT. In what fucking world should CT be standing down to Tina when it comes to winning winning a daily? Like, CT should be the voice of that era. During the daily, he should say, this is what we're doing, and no one should talk back to him. Or if they question him or you're talking to CT. He's one of the top two competitors in this show of all time. Listen to him. If you don't listen to him, then he needs to get you in the boat with him. He didn't do that. They lost the daily. They looked terrible. And he lost elimination to Niedermeyer. See ya. No more pro tips. Amateur tips.
I mean, LVP pro tips would have been great too. That's a missed opportunity.
What if they would have done right when Nehemiah rings the bell and it just cuts to Banana's confessional and he's like, Banana's pro tip, hit the nail in the hole.
God, or if Nehemiah would have done it. Nehemiah pro tip, win. So good pick, Andy. Alex, round us out tonight.
My LVP tonight, it might sound a little weird, a little random, but I'm going to go with John A. John A was just annoying all episode about, am I going to be a target for next episode? And I thought part of it was a weird choice from production to flash to it 5 or 6 times of John A. She wasn't thinking about, this is before tonight's daily. She wasn't thinking about it for the daily or the elimination. She was thinking of the next round of targets and everything. And it reminded me of like one of those Apatow movies where they just kind of go off the rails for 30 minutes. I'm thinking of Forgetting Sarah Marshall. They have what's the guy from 30 Rock, and he has this whole the nerdy guy from 30 Rock. He has this whole subplot of him wanting to learn how to have sex with his wife, And for getting Sarah Marshall just like goes off the highway for like 20 minutes to like do this, it accomplishes nothing. And it makes a good movie worse. And that's kind of what John A was like. Like nobody cares if John A is like overly, worried or scared about going into elimination. We can get to that next week. We can like capture that next week when you're actually in danger. I just thought it was so weird that like they went to John A so many times tonight. So I know it's kind of weird, but I'm going John A LVP.
Let me ask you this, Alex. Do people sleep on Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Probably.
I think that movie's so good. The puppets at the end. Everybody hates you.
Inside of you.
Inside of you.
What version of Jonah Hill was that?
What
version of Jonah Hill was that? That was not quite Moneyball, but it was close to Moneyball.
It was chubby.
God, he was big. God.
Any honorable mentions?
That's a great pick.
Yeah, I like that.
Because she sucks. She sucks.
She's so scared and so paranoid.
We have to give Nehemiah honorable mention.
Yep.
MVP.
Honorable mention, LVP, my number one pick. My heart for seeing Emily leave tonight. I cannot believe she's gone. I am heartbroken. But
it's sad.
What about Brad?
Who?
What's he gonna do?
Isn't he with Brittany?
I think there's a chance.
Wait, Brad's on the season?
He could throw it and leave.
Oh, come on.
Just saying, do not be surprised. Brad's got to be the favorite to go home next week. -175. Nothing crazy, but the favorite.
Yeah.
I was thinking for LVP, I don't like going this route because I feel like it's a cop-out a lot of times, but I just thought the commercials tonight were very, like, destroying any momentum we had. I felt like once we got to halfway point of the episode, we were getting a commercial, like, every 6 minutes, right when things were getting good, and it never really carried over after the commercial. I almost went commercials for LVP.
I will say the only commercial I did like tonight was, and I know Andy had it with me earlier this week. Did you see the commercial, the Oreo Coke? Like, I don't know if you guys have ever tried it. Andy and I both went this weekend and tried it. It is literally the smirkiest thing ever. It's like you like drink it and you literally start laughing. How is this even a thing? Like, it's so funny. So go try that, everybody. There's your endorsement. Coca-Cola Oreo. I haven't had the reverse yet. I should drink the Coke while eating the cookie at the same time. I think that'd be pretty smart.
Dip them in.
Oh, come on. That's disgusting. God. So, anything else? It looks like Tommy Tsunami's a big Emily girl. Yes, I am a huge Emily girl as well. What?
You're a huge Emily girl as well.
She's my girl. She's all right. We're done. We're wrapping it up. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. It's been a long day. Let's wrap it up. Thank you guys.
The vibes for season 40 are still high as hell.
They're so high.
The season is awesome.
Yeah. I'm F you about this season still.
Fired up.
Great.
So thank you guys for listening to a brand new Stir the Pod podcast show. I've been your host, Trevor. You can follow us on Twitter at Stir the Pod. You can follow us on Instagram at Stir_the_pod. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Shout out Duffy. Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.